Good afternoon. My name is Liz Gunsolus, and this is the recording for my Capstone Project presentation. My stakeholder is Jim Barker, who is my boss, and the organization I worked with is Alma Tractor and Equipment, where I've been employed for the last 15 years. The topic of my project was marketing in the equipment industry. This is something that we have struggled with over the more recent years in making sure that the tens of thousands of dollars we spend every year, are actually working and, doing the best job in finding customers and retaining customers in our industry. The purpose of the project was to identify the best methods of advertising to communicate with current customers and to obtain new customers, and to develop a marketing strategy based on the findings to best utilize the advertising budget and to gain market share. There were 4 problems identified. First, to determine how consumers have heard about the company, to determine how consumers prefer to receive information, to determine how consumers find new places to do business, and lastly, to determine how consumers prefer to receive information. A 4-question survey was developed to help find these answers. The survey was distributed to current customers and at a local home show. The 4 questions on the survey asked, how did you hear about Alma Tractor and Equipment? How do you prefer to receive information about promotions? When looking to make a new purchase, how do you find new places to do business? And how often would you prefer to receive promotional and informational communications? The findings for these answers were, on question 1, how do you hear about Alma Tractor and Equipment? The top 3 choices were current customer, other, and referred by a customer. On question 2, how do you prefer to receive information about promotions and events? The top 3 answers were email, other, and postal. For question 3, when looking to make a new purchase, how do you find new places to do business? The top 3 answers were Google, family or friends, and television ad. And for question 4, how often do you prefer to receive promotional and informational communications? The top 3 answers were less than once a month, twice a week, and never. These findings were summarized in a graphical chart, which, if you look at, for question 1, how did you hear about Alma Tractor and Equipment? 37% were current customer base, 32% selected other, and then it drops significantly to 14%, equally shared by referral and by television ad. For question 2, on how do you prefer to receive information about promotions and events, 54% chose email, and then a significant drop off, 17% chose other, and the third choice was postal mail at 14%. For question 3, on how do you, when looking to make a new purchase, how do you find new places to do business, 52% chose Google. And then it drastically drops to 23% at family and friends, and then television and other were equal at 11%. On the last question, how often do you prefer to receive promotional and informational communications, 43% chose less than once a month, then 20% selected never, and it was equal 11% between twice a week and once a month. Right now, the organization spends half of its advertising budget on television and radio ads. The remaining budget is spent on print advertising that features the same ads on its own website, driving internet traffic away from the company's website. These findings show that over 50% of consumers would prefer to receive email and use Google to find new businesses. Radio and television advertising were in the lower rankings, under 10% each. The recommendations to Alma Tractor would be to increase its internet presence, increase its email database, and to utilize family and friends. The costs associated with implementing this project are minimal. The current budget could just be reallocated to focus more on web-based traffic and less on television, radio, and print mediums. Utilize the full-time web developer on staff. Emphasize the company website within each advertising medium would also provide additional exposure. And then family and friends incentives can be offered through email or social media campaigns. With the minimal cost to change, the company should implement this plan in the immediate future. And based on research, the return on investment should be seen within 6 to 9 months. I do feel if the company implements the project as proposed, that we should continue to survey customers to make sure that the findings hold for the long term and not just the short term, and make any adjustments based on new research with the methods of advertising that we choose to utilize. But I do feel like the initial purpose behind this project was answered and will provide some good direction for the company going forward with its advertising. Thank you.